Welcome to What Do You Have to Say? I'm Uriah, and I'm here with my cousin Phil. You guys know how we do it. Two cousins, two perspectives, one mission to keep it real. Today, we are going way back, well, relatively way back. We're talking about 80s sitcoms. Let's dive into characters,
Yes.
catchphrases, and
Uh-oh.
why these shows still hit home today. You know,
Yes.
well, the world don't move to the
W-
beat of
Be
just
just
one
one
drum.
drum.
You all know
Yes.
what that is, right? So let's
Yes.
talk about the stuff that made us laugh, or maybe the lessons we learned from some of those things. So today we're asking, what you talking about? 80s sitcoms.
What you talking about,
Really
Willis?
begin. But the truth is, when you keep it all inside, it can be harder for others to find you. What do you have to say? There's no time to wait.
All right, we're back. It's
Hey, we're
80s
back.
sitcom day.
80 sitcoms.
80s
Wow.
sitcom day.
I'm excited about this one because I watched a lot of TV during the 80s. A lot of TV. And we didn't have a lot of channels then. So it was kind of limited. Well, moving from the 70s to the 80s, yeah, we just had a lot more choices, but also what did we do? We were 13, 14, around in there, 12, let's see, 12, 13, around in there. So what life we, the skating rink and TV. That's about
TV.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we
and
talked
church.
before
It's just,
in
yes.
church. Yeah.
And church.
Well, I remember telling you I was the TV guide for the family
That's
because
right.
I knew what
That's
was
right.
on every channel every day of
Yes.
the week for years.
Wow.
So if they couldn't find it, they would just ask me.
Yes, yes, yes. And you know what? You said something, man, that families watch TV together more so. I mean, there was like one TV. I can't, I didn't have a TV in my room for, during that time, but families, it was one TV. Everybody was watching the same thing, you know?
Do you know that they gave me a TV because I watched
I wonder why. Why?
because I watched so much TV. I think at some point in time they like, please get him his TV back in his room. And I think the first one came from Granny and Pawpaw. I think one that they had in their RV. And yeah, because then I could just be in my room watching what I want to watch.
Okay. Okay. That's That's something. But I mean,
Yeah,
just how times have changed. Now everybody has the TV in their own room. Yeah.
in their own
Er,
hand.
In their own, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, streaming everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I like that time because we were watching shows together. We were, just learning together, watching things, talking about, having commentary, even back then about what was going on, what may happen next. And, um, miss those
What's
times.
happening? You
Yes,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's interesting that I think everybody thinks a particular decade or time is uh, the best or an important time, but the
Mm-hmm.
80s was really a very important time in music, in
Oh,
movies, and
definitely,
TV because we were
definitely.
moving away from tried and true and the way things have always been done to things that sort of began to break the mold,
Yes.
especially with music,
Mm-hmm.
definitely with the TV shows and some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that we're going to talk about in movies. They weren't
Yes.
like what we were used to.
Correct, correct. And the
Mhm,
characterizations and the characters,
mhm.
and the storylines and plots, they were different than
They were
even
different.
even in the 70s, and then exposure, more different cultural wise, it was different. And they were,
Yeah.
I mean, music, a lot of more accepting of other of other cultures and identities, and um, I I like that very much so.
So I think, well, I don't think today what we're doing is
Yes, Jay.
we have, yeah, I don't have to think about it. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing today. We're going to talk about some uh, TV shows that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, rise to the top for us,
Right.
things that we
Right.
watched, and then
Yeah.
maybe talk about why, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
So let's start
Why?
with you. Let's
Or
start with you.
Okay.
You'll throw it to me, but we're
Okay,
gonna
I
start with
will.
you.
But thanks, man. I as I was preparing for this, I looked at a lot of shows that I watched, from Family Ties to Full House to um I can't think of them right off the top of my head, but there were a lot of shows, and they were all family-oriented shows. A lot of them involved families, and, I'm not sure, I don't watch that much network TV now, but, one show that we watched as a family, while this was kinda toward the end after I had graduated, but The Cosby Show was just pivotal in, um in a lot of people's lives because it was the first network show where it showed an upper middle class Black family and the kind of things that we were no different, or they were no different from other families. And they it showed what I liked about it, it was the parents were in control completely and at all times. I mean, it kind of mirrored some of the experiences in my life, but and in our family going on. But the Cosby Show, it just kind of transformed and the way that we were seen because we were not always, we had the Sanford and Son and we had Good Times and all of that in the 70s, but then I mean Cosby wasn't the first one. We had George Jefferson and the Jeffersons, just kindly showing us how how Black families operate, live, maneuver, and navigate life. And those characters right there, I mean, they were really I don't know. Did you watch The Cosby Show yourself?
Yeah, well, I think
Oh,
everybody did,
I
and
think
certainly we
everybody
did. And
is.
I appreciate the Cosby Show because, and in it, there in this family, there are a mix of skin tones and
Oh,
hair,
wow. Oh, yes. Oh,
which is
wow.
true. A lot of people who aren't black or of color might not realize that
Mhm. Mhm.
you can have this variety. Like in
Oh,
the
man.
family of origin we grew up in, the Jordan family, you know, there were skin tones from dark skin to very, very fair and light skin, and that's
Right.
because of family history, and
Right.
also with Granny Georgie and her family.
Mhm.
Her mom had ties to Native
Oh,
American, so
and
there
Granny
was
Dickey, yes.
a wide
Mhm.
range of skin tones. So I
Yes, yes.
appreciated that it showed variety.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right. Each one of those children's personalities, they shone through, and the lessons. I mean, it was it was just another family, not another family, but another Black family just be represented. Because network TV is powerful. It says that it can shape ideologies and perceptions of how peoples are, and
Absolutely.
network TV, for decades, just really we talked about being myopic and just seeing one dimension of things
Mhm.
and one
Oh, yeah.
dimension or one aspect of people. And, network TV helped shape that. And, well, no, fortunately, it started slowly, trying to change and add, broaden the tent and invite the others in. But, Bill Cosby, he had a show in the 60s, as well as
Well, Diane Carroll was the
Darren
first
Carroll.
Black
Yes,
woman who starred
right.
in her own
O-
show,
on
and
network
that was
TV.
groundbreaking. And I
Breaking.
believe at the time
Yes,
she
yes,
was
yes.
she was a nurse,
A nurse,
and
right,
she
right.
had a child.
Mm-hmm.
So it's come a long ways
It's come
from
a long way. I mean,
then.
I wrote it out. It was 1968 was Julia.
Oh,
And
okay.
his first show was 1969. Uh,
68. Okay. So that was
1968.
groundbreaking.
That was, I mean, so I don't know when TV started in the, I don't know when TV started. I would like to find that out.
Late
Um,
40s, early 50s?
Late 40s or 50s.
Because it was
Yeah. So,
radio forever.
oh,
Forever.
yes, yes. Oh, yes. Radio. Um, but thanks to Bill Cosby, Julia, and Norman Lear, I would just have to give some props to him for what he brought into and what he let um, America see another family. I mean, the spinoffs from Archie Bunker and from spinoffs from, I think it was Maud is where Good Times came, and then um, it was another spinoff that brought the Jeffersons, so I, and I said all that to say the Cosbys, they really, you could see them represent themselves with dignity, and it changed a lot. And I mean, they touched a lot of they touched on a lot of subjects, a lot of topics, from um drinking, from smoking, from partying. And I think there's one lesson that Theo learned that we're going to see today about money and the regular people, because he had this thing, whatever. It just that first clip about
What kind of
Theo
salary
and
do you
this.
expect for a regular?
Oh man, this is too funny.
What kind of salary do you expect for a regular person?
$150 a week.
Sit down. I'm going to give you $300 a week. $1,200 a month.
Great, I'll take it.
Yes, you will. And I will take $350 for taxes.
Whoa.
Because, see, the government comes for the regular people first.
Absolutely.
Now, how much does that leave you with?
$850.
All right. Now, you've got to have an apartment because you are not going to live here. So, an
Wow.
apartment in Manhattan
In
will
Manhattan,
run you
listen.
at least $400 a
When
month.
was that?
Look how
'Cause
quick that money is going. I want $400 rent.
a month.
I'll live in New Jersey.
You live in New Jersey, you've got to have a car.
I'll ride a motorbike.
You need a helmet.
He,
Figure $100 a month for
I like this
clothes
right here.
and shoes.
Figure two.
Hold on, $100 a month for clothes and shoes? I mean, you go. Okay.
okay,
Figure
yeah.
200. I want to look good.
What does that leave you with?
$200. So, no problem.
No problem.
There is a problem. You haven't eaten yet.
Now that's gonna be all the 200.
I can get by on bologna and cereal. So, I got everything I need, plus $200 left for the month.
You plan to have a girlfriend?
For sure.
Regular people.
See,
What-
I like the way that he taught that lesson, just, I mean, succinctly and explicitly. Because Theo
Yeah.
thought he had it all worked out,
Had it all worked out.
and it's those kind of it just reminded me. But you didn't see the room. His room was a disaster, and his mom had been asking him to clear it, had been asking him to clean it up. But he just came, Bill Cosby just came in and taught him. That's a life lesson. I remember that. that lesson.
Well, I remember that lesson. I can remember, I mean, I know just thinking about, oh my gosh, is that's what it's going to take to live on my own?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it,
Mm-hmm.
it's fairly close.
Fairly close.
Yeah,
Fairly close
you know,
for that
just
time.
for that
Yes.
time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's what the power that Cosby had on a lot of people. So yes, I'd like to
Okay.
hear what sitcom are you going to bring up for us?
Um, I am going to bring up the little ditty that I sang the very first line of.
Oh,
What is that?
it was Diff'rent Strokes.
Different strokes.
Diff'rent Strokes. Oh
Different.
man,
I
yeah,
did you watch Different
I
Strokes?
did, I did,
Okay.
I did, and I I never did. You notice that different is spelled diff with a apostrophe with a sret? Did you know that it was
Oh,
spelled
like
like that?
I'm looking at it like right now. I never
I
even thought about it.
you know
Different.
Dit Diff'rent Strokes, and I don't know if that is a play on where they lived or, because I don't know if hopefully our audience, if they have watched this, that they were adopted or well, Matt, you tell us because I can't remember fully. They
Yeah.
were
Well,
something
Different
that
Strokes. It came out before, like right before late 70s, but it really was from 78 to like 86. And
yes, yes,
it
yes, yes.
really shows like it follows two black brothers,
Mm-hmm.
um, the Jackson brothers, and they're from Harlem. And they were
Mm-hmm.
taken in by a wealthy white businessman,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Drummond. And after their mother, who was his housekeeper, passed away,
Okay.
or
Okay.
or she was just, yeah, Mr. Drummond's housekeeper. And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
he brought them to live in Park Avenue penthouse.
What
And
you say?
the show really was about those boys navigating the culture
Oh,
shock,
yes.
while forming a new family with
A
Mr.
new
Drummond
right.
and with his daughter Kimberly, and the
Yeah.
clash of the two worlds. And a lot came up. Arnold
Mhm.
was the cute one in the show, and then the sassy one, right? And so
Yes.
um, Willis, the older brother, was the
Mhm.
more protective one. He was the
Mhm.
one that sort of understood how things really were out in the world, although he
Right.
was what, 11, 12,
11,
but he
12.
knew.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Right.
then Arnold was the young one. Conrad Bain was, he never seemed like what's the right word to say? He seemed genuine. He didn't seem like the rescuer in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Anyhow,
I
that's how
mean,
I,
to save them
yeah,
from whatever life, he took them in
he took
as
them
an
in.
act, not as an act. And I get what you're saying, not as
Yeah,
an act of a savior or
as I
something,
said, no,
but
not at all.
just just I'm a human. These children need a place, and
They need the place.
I'm gonna provide it for him. And I get that from that show as well.
Yeah. And then there was Kimberly,
Mhm.
the teenage daughter, who treated or learned to treat them
Mhm.
like our own brothers. Like if I were doing that today,
Mhm.
a different strokes, or like if I could go back, I would
Mhm.
want there to be a little bit more friction with Kimberly. With with there wasn't a lot
Mm.
of friction, and
There
they're
wasn't.
probably
There I mean, initially, I was trying to think back on the episodes that I can remember, if there was some tension or the initial them meeting each other, how it played out, and maybe I'll
I
get a
think
chance
it's
to
because
watch
she knew them because the
Oh, that's right.
housekeeper was.
Mhm.
So she's probably had seen them, so
Seen
maybe
them,
there
right.
wasn't a lot, but just imagine
Mhm.
now you're gonna come live, and she was really gracious, and, maybe she was as a person, but I
Right.
wonder what the realness. But one of the
Yeah.
things that I like about this particular show,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about how things have changed over time. Not only
Uh-huh.
did it deal with race, with
Uh-huh.
two black boys living on Park Avenue, and they
Uh-huh.
dealt with that in the show, but
Uh-huh.
different strokes brought up a lot of issues uh,
Mm-hmm.
that were topical at the day, and they
Right.
covered them.
Right.
One
Right.
of them, one of the biggest one, and I don't have this clip, but was when Arnold and Dudley, they were kidnapped by someone who might
Oh,
the goal was to
yes.
molest them, and that was
Yes.
a a double episode that was controversial. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
another one was when Arnold in the very first season, so these two kids that moved in, was accused of dropping a water balloon on a
Water
neighbor.
balloons. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
That's
So that
right.
was like a big
Mm-hmm.
a big thing with them. But
Yeah.
this clip here that I wanted to show has to do with I think I think it was when Kimberly was kidnapped
Okay.
or
I
something. I
I,
don't
I can't
know.
remember. I don't
Hey!
can't remember.
Hey, Bill, the door's locked.
Watch some more TV, Arnold.
Hey! Hey! Hey, open the door! What's going on in there?
I'm doing a sketch of your sister, and I need a little
See?
quiet.
Hey, come on, open the door!
They're always dealing with that.
Hey! Kimberly,
Arnold's
are you
like something's
all
going on.
Be quiet. Tell him everything is fine. Tell him.
Everything's all right, Arnold. We'll be done in a minute.
Wow,
This
that
is this is crazy. Th- this wasn't like a movie of the week. This is a
right.
sitcom when they're really and she's starting to get older. Arnold's
Mm-hmm.
starting to get older. So
Uh-huh.
this is
Uh-huh.
real.
This is real. It is. I could see.
Hey, come on! Open the door! Why is the door locked? Let me out of here! Arnold, honey, please stop your banging. It's okay. Hey, come on! Open the door! What's going on in there? Let me out of here! Hey, Arnold, stop!
Yeah.
So
That was intense. Just
it
that little
intense.
clip that of what we know now, that happens,
hmm I think
and
that's why it was so popular because it it wasn't sitcom fare necessarily. They
mm,
had those light episodes, but it also went into
it
some
did some deep things. Yeah,
which is
right.
still around today
Oh, of course, more than we would even could think about. That
or want to
that's
acknowledge, right?
I want to acknowledge. That's it right there.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I say that the 80s were integral because they really had us looking at
Mm-hmm.
things much
Mm-hmm.
differently.
Right.
All right. Well, that was
Right,
heavy.
right.
I hope
Yes,
what you got
yes. Oh,
brings us
man.
out
Okay,
up
I'd
a little
love to
bit more.
know. Okay, well, I just have, um, the spinoff from the Cosbys was The Different World, and I liked The Different World because, it was Denise that had gone off to college, and
Yeah.
it introduced the world or the broader audience um, to HBCUs
hmm
and the college
Absolutely.
experience on a historically Black college campus. And so the setting is Hillman College, a fictional HBCU. And Denise, she was just trying to traverse being a freshman and those things that try to navigate life on her own and making her own decisions and all of those things that as a freshman I went through, trying to manage your time, your money, um, and have a little fun along the way. But Different World showed us that, wow, these are Black college students, student in college. And I had not seen that before.
Well,
Yeah.
let's sort of expand that just a little bit
Yes,
more
go
because
ahead.
you're right about that. I mean, just saying that these are black students in
Sis-
college, there
Okay.
there have been, but this is
Yes.
much different. This is at a historically black college, and
Mm-hmm.
I why I felt it was important, that was not my experience growing up. And I
Okay.
remember your dad, who was a professor, he would
Mm-hmm.
talk about that when he would come up, he would mention that. And in my mind, it's not something that I could visualize because I grew up in the central part of the United States in
Right.
Kansas, and
Right.
that wasn't
Right.
my experience. And I do
Right.
know, and I don't know if you realize that there are a lot of folks of color that went to some of the historically black colleges, and it was a culture shock to them because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't their experience,
Uh-huh.
and they didn't make it in those places, but
Successful.
they
Right.
weren't successful because
Right.
they really weren't ready for that. But to
Right.
see that on TV, to see that
Right.
you could have a black nerd or a black brain,
It's
right? And
yes,
see all
yes.
the ranges in between
Viewing. Right.
was wonderful to see.
Right, right. And what you say, cultural shock, because it is a different world on HBCU, and
Mhm.
those things being exposed to that either, yeah, it may have been too much. And now that you mention it, I know two guys that weren't successful in that environment. But I'd like you say, I'm glad that that was on network TV for people
Yeah,
to see. And I mean, they
absolutely.
addressed some hard topics too. They addressed like domestic violence. They addressed racism. They had a lot of episodes about just those those topical things at that time, and it is a great show. And if those of you that are listening and those of you that are watching, if you remember those shows, leave us a comment about what your favorite character was, or what episode that you remember if you watched those, and or leave your favorite 80s sitcom in the comments. We'd love to
Absolutely.
hear from you and say
We
what
may have time for 2 more.
okay, go ahead, man. It's all on you.
Didn't I
What you
just
got?
go?
Yes, you just oh,
No, I just went. It's time for you to share.
I just said different world. Is that right?
Oh,
I
you
mean,
did say different
I
world.
did just wow. Okay.
Am I paying attention?
I don't know. That's
I don't know that I am. I may not be paying
a
attention.
different
You
world. So
you
yes,
know,
go ahead.
there's a lot during that period of time, um, and of course, I'm not speaking for all black folks, but anytime there was, a black show on television, black people watched it, because we didn't see there weren't a lot of black TV shows, people predominantly black-led TV shows,
Yes, yes, right.
sitcoms,
On
dramas,
network, yeah,
whatever.
on network TV, yeah.
On that well, period, back in the day in the '80s,
Yes,
just
yes,
period.
yeah.
So, 227 was one of them shows uh, that got watched because it was stupid show, but it was
It
funny.
was
And for any of you all that don't know 227, it's set in an apartment building in Washington, D.C. And 227 was Mary's apartment number. And it centers on Mary Jenkins. And Mary Jenkins was the woman who played Florence
mhm,
in The
mhm.
Jeffersons.
And the
And people love
Jefferson,
Florence
yes.
and the Jeffersons, right?
Right,
And
right.
they she wasn't so sharp tongued, but she spoke her own mind.
Mhm.
And they sort of uh, created the show around gossiping on the front stoop, right? And I just like it because it depicted daily lives and struggles of 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 these people that lived in this middle class black neighborhood. So they weren't the Cosbys, but they weren't
Right.
Fred Sanford living in a
S
junkyard, right?
right, right, right.
And so
Because yeah.
you got Mary Jenkins, Marla Gibbs. She was nosy. They was all nosy, but she was more like the glue of the family, of the building, the
Mhm,
family.
mhm, mhm.
And then Sandra, who initially, after seeing something, she wasn't a big part of the show, but people love Sandra. So Jackée Harry, and she was like the sexy vamp, man hungry. And
Sandra.
Sandra, Sandra, right? And then she was married. Mary was married, so there was Hal and Brenda. And then,
Uh-huh.
then you had a lot of characters around them. But I
Hmm.
like 227. What are your memories of it, if any?
I just remember that Sandra was just over the top all the time.
Over
And
the top.
I just remember her being really sexy. Just always just with I mean, bim bam boom. Just that's and I mean,
Always.
as a boy watching them, it was like, okay. I didn't watch it as
Tie
much,
an apron.
but
Oh,
oh,
sorry.
Lord have mercy. Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
This is
She is her it's and then it was
it's
her
the voice,
voice.
it's the sex appeal,
It is
it's the
sex
play between her and
and
Mary,
yes,
and how she
yes,
says Mary is famous, right?
yes.
Tie an apron. Pot holder. Do I look like you now, Mary?
See that.
It's gone too far, Rose.
Ooh, I know what's missing.
Where are those silly gloves you always wear when you're doing the dishes?
Sandra, are you sure about this?
Of course.
She's
I'm
impersonating Mary in
Jenkins.
this.
When that handsome car owner comes over here, I'll convince him I'm responsible only for the taillight, not for the total annihilation of one side of his car.
Uh, she is using that sex picture. Well, that right there.
Yeah,
Jackée. She is
Jackée.
man, she is hilarious. That was a great show. Centered around families,
Hmm.
centered around family. And I liked what was the daughter's name?
Brenda.
The Brenda, and that was man, what is her name now? Her
Oh,
actress is
Regina King. Oh,
Regina
who would have
King.
known? Who would have? Yeah.
Who would have known? Regina King is some kind of something else, and what she's so.
Oscar, multi-Emmy
Yes.
winning. Yep.
Oh man, she's something. Regina King, and from getting her starts there. I mean, there's probably before, but yeah, Regina King. Great show. Great show.
So 80s sitcom. We really let us know if there's probably something that we aren't thinking about in the 80s. I mean, we'll probably come back to this, but let us know what is one of your favorite and why, and
Right.
even post a YouTube clip so we can
So
so we could look at it and understand why. I mean, there are tons that we're leaving out.
oh
Um,
gosh, yes, yes. I was. It's it escapes me now, but there are a lot of them, and then some of them weren't centered around family, but they were. We watched them, but most of them were. I can't recall any ones right now.
it's interesting when we talk about the 80s because this was uh by that time graduating and then heading off to college. I was not watching TV as much. So
Oh
there is a
no,
lot of time where I don't know anything about TV or
there same here. There was like between like 84 to like 90 something. I didn't
Mhm.
watch that a lot of TV, and
Yeah.
living in experiencing dorm life because I lived in the dorms, and just we did yeah, TV was the last thing on our mind at that
To
time.
think about
So
watching.
to
Yeah.
think about yeah, we didn't watch too much, but let us know about uh, your favorite 80s sitcom, and this is great today, man. I appreciate the the walk down memory lane, but thank you for joining us today, guys. If this episode made you smile, reminded you of your own story, share our podcast.
Mhm.
If you'd like to keep the story going, catch us every episode, every week. We have a new episode. Make sure that you hit that like, that subscribe button right now. We appreciate the insights and your feedback from you, our listeners. Every comment, every like makes a huge difference and in helping this community grow. We have so much more to talk about, and We want you with us. Until we meet again, may you discover the inspiration that empowers you to let your voice be heard.
Bye, folks.
What do you have to say?